This is the Volkswagen T-Roc, the start of a new, more emotional Volkswagen. Well, it's conservative, but there's a few elements of style in there that I really like. Some really sharp creases on the bonnet. Ow, you can almost cut yourself on them. And these fantastic LED lights around here, the daytime running lights that double up as the indicators. Really like that. Is that what emotion is? Don't know. But SUV sales are going to continue climbing, Volkswagen says, till about 2027 and probably beyond. So let's be honest, they're on to a winner anyway, aren't they? Or are they? Let's find out. Like pretty much everything else Volkswagen does mid-size, this car is based on the MQB platform. Now that means that most bits will be familiar to anybody who reads car magazines, looks on the internet or drives a modern Volkswagen. The engines, let's talk about the engines. 3 choices on the petrol side, 3 on the diesel. Now to make life easy, Volkswagen have given each layer of engine, whether you're talking petrol or diesel, the same amount of power. So starting at 115 horsepower, then 150 horsepower, then 190 horsepower. In petrol, you've got a 1 litre 3-cylinder engine, then a 1.5, then a 2 litre. On the diesel front, a 1.6 diesel and 2 litres to choose from. Got all that? We might not get them all in the UK, but you kind of get the gist of things. To drive, it feels very Volkswagen. This car is the range-topping 2 litre, 190 horsepower petrol unit, so it's got a bit of go, but the ride quality is pretty good. It's kind of firm, very much like a Golf. A little bit firm, but not uncomfortably so. You can ramp things up on this car because you've got dynamic chassis control, which will be optional, no doubt. You've got progressive steering, so I can cycle through. I'm in normal mode at the moment, or I can put it in sport mode at the touch of a button and the steering instantly firms up. The ride also firms up, and what I like best is the gearbox changes tend to be a bit quicker. This of course is a DSG. It's also 4-wheel drive. Proper SUV, you might think. Don't want to go too far off-road in this, although there are various off-road settings you can play within a dial in the middle too. So in sport mode I quite like it. I would probably go into individual mode and put the steering and the gearbox into sport mode, but leave the chassis in a more comfortable mode, because in sport, as you can feel, wobbly bits get a bit wobbly, maybe a little bit too firm. As far as doing the everyday car bits are concerned, well, in the back there's a decent amount of space. I can sit behind myself. I'm 6'2" and almost 6 foot wide as well, and there's plenty of space for me to sit next to myself, behind myself as it were. Boot, about 425 litres I think it is, so enough for most people, for a family, although whose family we're talking about? My family, nowhere near enough space. An average family, probably enough. Let's put it this way, a dog will be pretty happy in the boot. One thing I would point out in the T-Roc though is quality. Now, yeah, it's a Volkswagen, it's built well, but this car in the UK will start at £19,000, and I'm going to introduce you to my ring, and listen to this. That is the sound of me tapping my ring on the dashboard top. Misses. And now, me, £19,000 upwards, I want squishy materials on the top of my dashboard. Frankly, you get a better quality dashboard top and side in a Polo. Come on, Volkswagen, what are you doing? So the new T-Roc, the emotional Volkswagen. Well, we go on about styling, saying it's a bit conservative, but let's be honest, a Volkswagen always looks good. They age very well, and I think this one will be no different. You can get it with lots of personalisation options for Volkswagen. 11 body colours, 4 roof colours. You can have fancy colours on the inside as well. Bottom line with this car is there's an awful lot to like about this car, and not a lot to dislike. Frankly, only really the interior quality, that cheap plastic across the dashboard. A lot of it depends on price. If you can get the right deal, get the right monthly price, this thing, whether you like Volkswagen or not, is going to be another hit for them.